Hi everyone. Today we're going to go over the stock ETF QQQ. Everybody has been asking and emailing, how do I get one of the FANG stocks and what is the FANG stocks? Well, right now, as you know, Amazon is past $3,000 right now. Facebook just had a big boost in its stock price. Apple has gone up. So everyone's like, how can I get it? How can I get it? I only have $200 or I only have $500 to buy some. What can I do? Well, we're going to give you some just of our favorites that we find very interesting. And these are the ETFs. And remember, these are exchange traded funds, which are a basket of securities. So you buy one stock for around $200 plus or minus, and it has a bunch of stocks. So people are talking about QQQ. So QQQ, it's also known as Invesco, QQQ Trust Series, or Power Shares. And it tracks the index of the top 100 companies. So, and in its portfolio, it has Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Alphabet Class A, Alphabet Class C, and Alphabet is Google. So Google's ticker symbol is Alphabet Class A and Alphabet Class C. They have different classes of stocks. And then they also have Tesla, because so many of you have been wanting to buy Tesla, but you're like, I'm just starting, I'm just beginning. And Tesla's, almost 1,500 plus or minus. It's hovering around the $1,500 spot. And then the NVIDIA, remember that's one that I believe I gave you a podcast. And if not, that's one that a lot of people are taking a look at with the tech revolution and the chips and they have technology that's really cool. NVIDIA, NVIDIA Corp. So that's why QQQ is popular as an exchange traded fund or ETF. And it also, the expense isn't extremely high. It has a low expense when you're comparing ETFs. So those are one of the things I look for, is a low expense to get into it. And it also pays a dividend, because a lot of you are looking for dividends and growth stocks and tech stocks, especially the FANG stocks. So it pays a dividend. It's around $1.63 per share. So if you would get the QQQ stock, currently QQQ, I'll type it in right now on my Robinhood. Feel free to use the link below. I always share good links with you from my Amazon affiliates, and Robinhood will give you a free link just for signing up. You just name, address, phone number, just like signing up for a social app. Robinhood, I'll give you one free share for signing up. You don't have to buy anything. You can just hold it or sell it after a year and a day. Or if you want to sell it earlier, you can. They'll give it to you just to go on there. Use my link. And also Webull will give you one free share for just signing up, and a bonus one if you put $100 in there. And these are the no fees. Robinhood is known as the beginner app. So it's called Power. When you type in QQQ, say Power Share, and after hours it hit $269.29. So it does have an expected growth that they're projecting. The stock analysts, they're projecting it can go up to $393. So in 5 years, in 2050, and the dividend yield is at 0.61. Yep. And there's 32 million on volume. The average volume is 44.53, which means a lot of stocks and traders and funds and retail investors. We like to see that. So also, they just paid their dividend July 31st. So if you're gonna look into that, the next dividend will probably be I think it pays quarterly. But just go on to QQQ's website and look into investors relations and check out the earnings and see if that might be something exciting to you. Some people have been asking me, I'm going to tell you a couple more that have the FANG stocks. So stay with me, because I always give you bonuses and give you goodies when you listen. because I really appreciate y'all listening and subscribing and giving those 5 stars. We're ranking really high. A lot of people are interested. We have young people, college students, we have college graduates, we have guys, we have girls, we even have some older women and guys, and so it's really, really cool. So thank you. People have asked what other ETFs have the Tesla, because Tesla is like a cult following. So I looked at 5 of them for you. So I'll just mention them real quick here. It looks like CARS, really cool, CARZ. So if you're interested in Tesla and you want an ETF, CARS has a nice chunk in there. CARZ in their portfolio of the basket of securities. And then one looks like it says SMOG, SMOG. And then this one is QLIN, QCLN. And then if you like Kathy Wood, she's that investor. She went to USC. She's really, really the one that's been pushing Tesla. And she's just an amazing female in the investing world. And she has her own funds. They're called the ARCs. And these two that have the Tesla and Kathy Woods are called ARCQ, ARKQ, and ARKW, ARKW. So those are interesting. And then somebody asked, how does the VOO compare to QQQ? So VOO tracks the index of 500 companies, and QQQ tracks the index of the 100 companies. And VOO compared to QQQ, some people like it because it has a lower expense ratio than QQQ, even though QQQ has a low expense ratio, pretty low compared to other ETFs, and it does have a dividend. So those are 2 popular ones, and you'll see like, oh, now I know what QQQ is, and I'll just do a bit more so you know what QQQ is. So if someone says QQQ in stocks, you kind of are on point with it. So they, it's like basically a tech stock. It has consumer health and consumer staples, industrials and telecommunications, and they have information technology is basically 47.35% of their portfolio. Telecommunication services is 20.88%. And we know a guy, I won't say his name, but he's a billionaire. He lives in Beverly Hills. He lives in the Mendez house that's famous for not the most positive thing, but he is a billionaire from telecommunications. So that's very interesting. We always like to see what our high net worth friends, how they became billionaires, and pass those along. Consumer discretionary, 14.70%. Healthcare, 7.23%. Consumer staples, 5.98%. And industrials, 2.68%. So it's a nice, diverse ETF. It has great stuff. I mentioned all the stuff. I'll just go over their top 10 holdings. They have PepsiCo, which I really like PepsiCo as a company, all the snacks, and everyone's been snacking. Comcast, they have Cisco Systems, Intel, Alphabet, Google, Class A, Class C, Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft, and the Apple, which I put a breaking news that Apple is going to split their stocks. And so in case you want to take a look at the Apple, it is a FANG stock. Okay, so their expense ratio I told you is just 0.2%, so that's pretty nice. And the QQQ has a market cap around 100 billion in assets under management. Woohoo! 100 billion. That's amazing. And so they track the NASDAQ 100, I told you. Let's see. And I think that's about it for that one. I think I gave you more than enough information on that one. I'll quickly wrap up a couple more ETFs that have the FANG stocks in them in case you want to see which one you like. So FANG, I'm not sure if you know, it means Facebook, the FB, Amazon, AMZN, ticker symbol, Netflix, ticker symbol NFLX, and Alphabet Inc., which is Google, GOOGL. So FANG is Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Alphabet. So people are like, oh, Microsoft's not in there, Tesla's not in there. Well, that's what the acronym is for FANG. So now you know when people say the FANG stocks, and they're like always being tracked because they're really, really leading the pack with just Apple. I think it's at 1.8 trillion. Woo! Okay, so in case you are like saying, oh, all the FANG stocks are really expensive, so I want to just tell you some ETFs in case you want to just do an ETF and that's more exciting to you. You know, always talk to your licensed financial broker. This is for entertainment purposes, a disclaimer. Okay, the First Trust Dow Jones Internet. Okay, I'll say it again. The First Trust Dow Jones Internet, FDN. It tracks the price and yield of Dow Jones Internet Composite Index. Okay, so in order to make it in this index, it must generate at least 50% of its revenue from the internet. So this is what the baskets of stocks that are in this one. They get their revenue 50% from the internet. So, you know, obviously that's going to be the Facebook, the Amazon, the Netflix, and Google. So if you want to look at that one, that's pretty interesting. ETF, ticker symbol FDN. Okay, I was going to try to see. Yeah, there's no dividend yield on that one. The trading volume is around 740,000, but maybe they'll have a dividend. You never know. Stuff changes. So, you know, that's why you got to like read the news every day, and every day is different. If you're going to go in the stock market, like the day you're buying it and the time might be different from someone else. So never rely on anyone else. You got to like update and see all the updates and news because, you know, breaking, like, Microsoft is, you know, wants to buy TikTok. So that's amazing. Is the president going to let him, you know, is that going to work out? And then what's that going to do to that stock? So that just was announced. So there's, you know, it's really exciting to kind of listen to the cutting edge of news and see all this technology advancing. Okay, so this is another ETF, the Invesco NASDAQ Internet. I will say it again, the Invesco NASDAQ Internet. So the ticker symbol is PNQI, and that tracks the price and yield of the NASDAQ Internet Index. So, they have some really liquid U.S. internet companies, and they have Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and the Google there. So no dividend yet, not applicable. Trading volume around 46,900. And their performances on these things are pretty incredible. So do look and see the 5-year chart, the 1-year chart, 3-year chart to see how that they've been growing. And so see which one could be exciting to you. Okay, great. So this is the Invesco QQQ Trust, which I told you about, that tracks the NASDAQ 100 index and includes 100 of the largest domestic and international non-financial companies listed on the NASDAQ. This one is a little bit different than the last one. Okay, yeah. And because the dividend yields 0.85%. Okay, so QQQ's FANG exposure is Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, and the Google. Okay, so the Invesco QQQ Trust, and then the First Trust ISE Cloud Computing. So that's the sky when you see the SKYY, that is the First ISE Cloud Computing. And it tracks the price and yields of cloud computing index. So that could be really great, you know, that they're saying Amazon has the cloud and all that kind of stuff. So they said Facebook and Netbook has been removed from the ISE Cloud Computing Index. They do have a dividend yield of 0.45%. So the expense ratio is 0.60. And the average trading volume on that one is 1 million. And they have the Facebook, well, they said Facebook was removed. So they have the Amazon and the Google because Netflix was removed. Okay, so these could be very, very interesting. And I'm going to just check out an ETF. I'm going to do another ETF one for you guys because everyone's asking. I'll do a couple with Netflix that have the Netflix in them ETFs. So ARC Web. A lot of people like the ARC because Kathy Woods is an exceptional manager, and she went to USC, and she's very smart, and she was, you know, she has Bitcoin, and she loves Bitcoin, she loves Tesla. So ARC Web ETF, and dark web, it's like X.0, and you might want to check that. ARK Innovation ETF, First Trust Dow Jones ETF, Invesco NASDAQ Internet ETF, and Amplify Online Retail ETF, and Invesco Russell Top 200 Pure Growth ETF. So